Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, I'll be making another argument for Hadith preservation, which is, in my opinion, possibly one of the three strongest arguments for Hadith preservation, namely the stylometric differences between Sahih and Fabricated Ahadith. Now, first I'll go into the logic of the argument. The Orientalist claim is that all or most Ahadith were more or less fabricated, right? If they are fabricated within a specific pattern or literary style, we should expect all to be somewhat similar. Not exactly similar. I don't think they would produce one author, because that's just beyond insane and highly unlikely. But they would be somewhat similar. If they are either fabricated, right, all of them, without considerations of literary style, then we wouldn't expect them to be similar linguistically. Or if they are authentic but they are paraphrased, meaning the words are not transmitted, only the meaning is transmitted, right, we would expect them to be linguistically different. But if they are authentic, right, but if the stylometric styles are extremely different between authentic and fabricated ahadith, right, the most reasonable conclusion from that is that that there are some authentic ahadith and there are some fabricated ahadith, although this is not necessary thing about this. If these two styles are so different and one of them is supposed to be an imitation of the other, right, but they are not linguistically similar, they are highly different, that shows that one of them is most likely authentic and another is made up. This is just common sense. Now, moreover, and we actually have this, I'll go into the evidences for this later, inshallah. Moreover, think about this point. Our isnad system, we have an isnad system for the authenticating of ahadith, right? The fact is, it distinguishes ahadith into broadly sahih ahadith and fabricated ahadith. There are two categories of ahadith, right? If our system was defective, right, it wouldn't really be able to distinguish between what's authentic and what's fabricated. But our method has clearly shown that the stylometry has clearly shown that sahih and authentic ahadith are extremely different. This shows that our method worked, that it can distinguish between what's authentic and what's fabricated. Now I'll get to one contention regarding this, inshallah, soon. Now I want to go into the evidences for my claim that stylometry shows both ahadith are different. Authentic and fabricated ahadith are different, right? Now this is the first study. I'll link both of those studies I'm using in the video description. First study shows that basically authentic there are numerous experiments that were done on authentic ahadith and that were done on fabricated ahadith. What these experiments show is that most of the before that I want to make another point, right? If someone was just going random guessing, right, they would get half right, 50%, and half wrong. That's just based on pure chance, right? But what these experiments show is that many experiments produce good results, and the highest accuracy is 78%, but most of the tests are above 70%. So this shows that we can reasonably using linguistics, stylometric studies, right, distinguish between authentic and fabricated ahadith, and this is much better than pure chance, which would be 50%, but this is 78% or above 70% for almost all of the studies, all of the tests with the exception of 4. So this shows that stylometry can distinguish between authentic and fabricated ahadith. Now here's a table from the study, right? This is basically example of numerous tests that have been done using, for instance, words, segments, characters, top words, top segments, function words, and vocabulary richness. There are about 5 or 6 tests here that are above 65, between 65 and 70%. One test was below 60%, but other than that, almost all are above 70%, with quite a few above, with some of them even being above or close to 75%. So this shows that authentic and fabricated ahadith can be distinguished extremely easily. Now, that showed only 78%, 75%, right? Round about that. This is a second study. This actually, uh, I link it in the video's description. I just accidentally discovered this. This is actually quite recent. Now, this study showed this study can distinguish between authentic and fabricated ahadith to a much greater scale. Uh, there are numerous tests in the study. I'll just give one example, right? This is in the study, and there were basically 2,657 ahadith analyzed, uh, among them fabricated and authentic, right? Now, this study shows that only 5 of the authentic ahadith were predicted as fabricated, and only 30 ahadith that were fabricated were falsely predicted as authentic. Now, think about this. This method can distinguish between authentic and fabricated ahadith, and among 2,657 ahadith, only 35 were incorrectly judged, right? I mean, this is a mind-blowing level of precision. This shows that authentic and fabricated ahadith are highly different, which we wouldn't expect if all the records are made up, which we wouldn't expect if all the records are paraphrased. But if they are authentic ahadith, right, and fabricated ahadith, then that would be the best explanation of authentic and fabricated, one group of ahadith being so different, so linguistically different with another group of ahadith. Now, there aren't really a lot of contentions to this argument. I don't think any contention can be made regarding to this argument, right? Uh, except maybe one or two. Someone can try to claim that this only shows two are different, right? But there could be an inverse case, like supposedly, according to some conspiracy theory, fabricated could be authentic, fabricated ahadith could be actually authentic, and authentic ahadith could be actually fabricated, right? There's a very simple response to this. This is not true, and this can be proven very easily by combining this argument with either the argument for prophecies, argument from the authentic hadith having one author, right? With any argument, combining with any of this argument, we can really remove this contention. This contention what I would like to stand on. So in conclusion, I think you should have seen that this is a massive argument, massive proof for the reliability of Islamic historical records, namely authentic and fabricated ahadith being so different, right? Think about this. Any Orientalist claim regarding ahadith, any of the conspiracy theories, basically, they wouldn't result in authentic and Sahih ahadith being so different, but the Islamic narrative would result in authentic ahadith and Sahih fabricated ahadith being so different, and we can prove quite strongly they are so different. And I'll link the studies in the video description for anyone who is interested. Inshallah, I hope you enjoyed this video in what I think is probably one of the strongest arguments for Hadith preservation. Inshallah, I'll keep working on this topic and other similar topics, and I'll make even more refutations of Orientalists. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.